We're here with Mark Orfus and the legend Alan Repashy from Repashy Supplements and Northern Gecko. We're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing with their projects and hopefully learn some cool stuff. So first of all, Mark, what's your ultimate goal with the Lilly whites? What's your, when it comes to the morphs, what are you trying to mix it in the most with? If you have an ideal Lilly white, what would that look like?
The ideal Lilly white would be tons of cream and red.
Red.
Yeah, that's my thing. But right now we're mixing them to a lot of different things just to see what we get. Alan had mentioned that they're very variable.
It's a polymorphic trait, I guess, in a lot of ways, because you don't know what's going to happen when you breed it. You could take the nicest Lilly white, breed it to your nicest cream pinstripe, and get something that's average, and then you can get a Lilly white that's hardly expressing the gene, breed it to an average female, and get a completely outrageous Lilly white. So, we need to figure out if through line breeding and selective focus that we can get the expression to be more predictable, because right now it's not. So right now we're still trying to figure out, hey, if I breed it to a Dalmatian, is it going to make a Lilly Dalmatian, or is it going to just wash out the spots?
And Nick has been telling us that when he's been breeding the Lilly whites to Dalmatians, he's getting like creamsicle-like.
No spots at all.
No spots. You get creamsicle-like animals. So that's definitely gonna have to. We're going to have to figure that one out.
You can see that, there is some Dalmatian characteristic that exists.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when you mix it with Dalmatian, you don't get Dalmatian at all.
I think that the Lilly gene somehow is affecting the black pigmentation throughout the whole body. So if we look closer, we might see that the little circles from the Dalmatian spots are there. They're just not colored, or they're faded. And then of course with Dalmatians you've got black spots, and there's also red spots. And I have no idea, really haven't even talked to Nick or tried to do anything with the red spotted Dalmatians.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting when people here in the States start mixing it up. Even hobbyists, small breeders, maybe they could come up with something cool too.
And bringing some structure, I think, into them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very beautiful morph, but if you look at the structure of that compared to, say, something down here with a beautiful crown, bringing some of that structure into the line would probably, improve it a lot as well.
I think it won't be long before we see a Lilly white that's just 100% cream. So a gecko that's just
kind of like those extreme harlequins that have all
just nothing on the body but just pure cream. And then of course there's the whole lethal side of the Lilly white gene. When you breed two co-dom Lilly whites together, the super form is, at least right now, a white gecko, but it's a lethal gene, so the animals are going full term or near full term and then dying in the egg. So there's the whole project of trying to unlock that lethal gene by outcrossing and trying to bring in an animal that has the gene that somehow cancels out that lethality, and then maybe we're going to end up with a snow crested, a blue-eyed white crested gecko.
Blue-eyed white dragon.
It would be crazy. Crested geckos have really, in one way, I think they've suffered because they haven't had the genetic mutations show up like leopard geckos have, like ball pythons have. Right now we've got, I think, maybe 2 genetic morphs of crested geckos after 20 years of line breeding animals that all came from 50 or so original animals. So the luck of the draw was that in that original group there wasn't a lot of genetic diversity, and there wasn't a lot of recessive genes buried in those animals, and so now we have to rely on odds and the 1 in a million or whatever spontaneous mutations that occur through breeding, and they just haven't showed up yet. I was producing for 10 years I was producing almost 1,000 crested geckos a week, and I had to look through them all, and I just kept looking and looking, and I got tired of it. And it's hard because, you know, when you have a commercial business, you're so focused on just breeding and moving animals that it really takes a lot of work to look through the stuff. And so people that have smaller collections that, you know, look at every single baby they produce under a microscope have better odds of finding these mutations that I might have just sent to Petco someday, you know. So it's
some random person.
Yeah.
Only albino Crested Gecko.
So guys like you that are anal retentive people that are just focused on, I want to find out why this gecko looks a little different than that one, are going to find these things. And people that have experience with genetic stuff, people that are coming from the ball python side and the leopard gecko side, that know what to look for in animals, where someone like me, I've never really in my whole career ever focused on genetic mutations, so I'm not very well schooled on it. I just like, you know, I never really separated animals out that much. I mean, I created a lot of morphs. I created the pinstripe and the Dalmatian. I named a lot of that stuff originally, but it was just obvious things. It was like, oh, that's got a stripe on it, I'm going to call it a pinstripe. But now there's more names than you can keep track of, and I just call them regular ones and pretty ones, and I'm happy with that. So I'll let the new generation of breeders that are coming along behind us start ironing the stuff out and finding these mutations, and hopefully bringing them to the surface and giving the crested geckos a boost that they need to be. Right now, the Lilly whites are
I think
they got
that's
me back into crested geckos.
Exactly. I think that's some fresh, you know, some fresh blood. Mark, is there anything that you're working with, whether it's a lychee or a chihuahua, something specific that you're really excited about, you know, that you want to show off maybe, or that you have a vision for?
There's two things that I'm excited for, and they've been around for a while, and one is producing nicer white collar chihuahuas.
Right.
I can't even keep them in stock, but yeah, you got, like, you know, a more and more defined white collar it's just a beautiful animal when they grow up. There's another one here. Let's see if I can get that. And so I'm focusing on producing and holding back a lot of groups of those. I just love the coloration of it. Here's an adult, nothing special, nice lime green one, but some of all the really nice ones don't make it to the show, and if they do, they're gone the first day. As you can see, they're all sold.
Right.
That's one thing, and then of course also like focusing on producing redder and redder gargoyle geckos, which you can appreciate.
Yeah.
You can appreciate that. And we just released this, the first one of a line that we haven't really released yet. But I think that's it. And then of course, passion for lychees. I keep holding back more than I produce because I can't seem to let them go. And you used to have that problem at one point too, I think.
It's a sickness.
I'm just starting to collect lychees. I just bought maybe 6 in the last week or so.
Oh, you'll get there. You'll get that sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your knowledge. We're gonna wrap this up. Maybe show off a couple little animals, and then we're gonna hit the road.
Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I don't know I think it's on this side or on that side, I'm not sure, but make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know, we have all the social medias, and you know, if you guys want to keep up to date with our animals, the progress that we have.
Don't forget Snapchat.
And Snapchat. Almost forgot about Snapchat.
And don't forget about YouTube Live. We do YouTube Live every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We're doing YouTube Live where we answer all your questions. So, you want to get that one-on-one with us? You want to talk to us? You want to ask us the questions that we don't answer on the YouTube comments because we're too busy to look at those comments? Feel free to, you know, check us out on YouTube Live, and we'd be more than happy to help.
Alright guys, love you.
No, we don't. I'm just kidding. See ya.